Hello, everybody. Wave 3 meteorologist Brian Good here. This is primarily going to be a severe weather discussion here, talking about the setup for this afternoon. Ignore the little tools right there across the top. That's our interactive system that is armed and ready for severe weather in case it does develop. So let's get right into the radar trends. We've got several things to talk about. First off, we've had some showers and storms this morning that developed across areas of Indiana. They raced to the north and east along I guess you would say basically a warm front ahead of this MCS that came through Illinois last night. So that warm surge heading through the north and east, and got a tornado warning still out now along the Ohio River itself in southern Ohio and far northeast Kentucky. Several sightings of funnel clouds with that. Now we're entrenched in the warm sector. And remember those storms we had earlier? We had some earlier on across areas of west Indiana that were coming right at us. The storms that were in Nebraska yesterday, they have since just faded away as they approach Louisville. All we're getting now is the cloud cover from that. Speaking of cloud cover, this is going to be the important part for this afternoon. Let me turn on the visible so you can see it. A couple things to point out. One, you see the clouds, for the most part, fairly thick. Some cirrus aloft. You get some cumulus in the lower levels over the area. But notice the punches here of clearing that has taken place. Sunshine coming out across northern Hardin County. And lots of sun now breaking out in southwest Indiana. The atmosphere in this area is becoming quite unstable. The latest analysis I was looking at, there is an incredible amount of rotation ability that is developing in this area right here as of the last scan. And that is going to be a zone to watch for maybe some isolated tornadoes that could develop this afternoon. I don't see as much of that threat at the moment. Further to the east, we'll watch that. But again, the latest analysis is indicating that this area certainly is an area to watch for the next several hours, and we'll see how it progresses to the east. But you can see the obvious boundary that is drifting in across Illinois. This little push to the south and east is what's going to ignite the storms in the next couple of hours. Between now and, say, 3 o'clock, we should start to see more and more storms develop. In fact, if you look carefully, you can see how that line gets a little more bubbly. It's the cumulus developing along it. So it's about to become thunderstorms in Illinois. They're going to push to the south and east. Also see some cumulus developing right in here, north of our viewing area. We'll watch those. Those may try to backbuild to the south and form storms in southern Indiana here this afternoon. And then we'll wait and see if we get storms to develop right in this area north of Paducah. We got several areas we're watching for storms to pop up. It's not going to be an organized line that's going to develop and then move through like we're used to. This is going to be a scenario. We're going to get clusters of storms here. You got a cluster over here. Got some clusters over here and cluster over here. And they all kind of just drift to the south and east and eventually become a line as you get into areas of Tennessee and Kentucky later this evening. But between now and then, they're going to be very scattered, which means that some of us, not sure who yet, but some of us may not even get anything, not even a raindrop out of this as it passes through. That is certainly possible. While some of us could have just one heck of a storm, others not even a drop. So it's going to be very difficult forecast here on timing because we have so many different things developing ahead of this front as it drifts to the south. You almost would wish this would be more organized into a line so we could time it better and know exactly what to expect. But that's not going to be the case for us in Kentucky and southern Indiana for this afternoon. The further south you go, the better the chance would be for a more organized line of showers and storms to pass through. So overall, I still think our best chance for severe weather is going to take place mainly across Kentucky. That is where the Storm Prediction Center is aiming on as well, and a lesser degree. But keep in mind, everybody has a chance to see some severe weather today, no matter where you are. There's nobody that's going to escape that chance. Certainly, it's Indiana and our Kentucky counties. You both have a chance here for severe weather. It's just different modes of severe weather. I still think the initial storms have the best chance to rotate. I mentioned that yesterday. Still the case today. This is not a tornado outbreak. This is not a March 2nd deal. Just saying that in the initial storms that develop between now and, say, 3 or 4 o'clock have the best chance to rotate, and that looks to be across central southern Illinois, southwest Indiana, maybe along the Ohio River. We'll see how that plays out. And then once we get into after 6 o'clock this evening, it should become more of a wind threat, straight line wind, and bowing segments. You'll get little bow echoes developing across Kentucky, and that's when you get your straight line wind damage downstate into Tennessee for the late evening hours. So, still think it's going to evolve kind of the way we were thinking yesterday. I think everything maybe is shift a little more south because it took a while to get that complex of storms in Indiana through here this morning. And secondly, we may not see as volatile as that atmosphere could have been, considering we're getting a little bit of a slower start on the temperature. But still, the threat is there for damaging winds and isolated tornadoes and large hail I'm not taking any of those off the board here. I think they're all there still, given the dew points where they are and the front coming in and the sun coming back out. It's still lining up to be a busy afternoon. Just keep in mind, not everybody's going to see these storms. You just need to be prepared for them in case you do. Be alert. Have your weather radio plugged in. Make sure you got your Wave Radar weather app downloaded on your phone. It'll automatically will pop up the warning for your area as soon as it's issued. In fact, it even beats our crawl system. Sometimes it's on TV. So the weather app is an important thing to have downloaded on your phone. You will need it for this afternoon. Fully expect, I'm waiting to hear from the Storm Prediction Center about a watch that could be issued at some point. I fully expect that to happen today, given the atmosphere, and warnings are pretty likely as well. All right, so that's how it looks right now. I'm going to try to do. I'll try to do another video if I get a chance to, if it's calm enough to be able to produce one. Otherwise, well, I'll try to do shorter updates on the blog as well as on social media. Okay, that's it for right now. Thanks. I need your reports later today. Just stay safe. Don't put yourself at risk. But if you happen to report anything unusual, especially in severe weather, by all means, let me know and we'll relay it to the Weather Service. Thanks again.